Hello, my name is Richard Anthony Marca, and this is our CSC313 final project, which we are calling Tank Simulation, because it's going to be a PvE tank battle game, which I will explain right here. So we used a lot of stuff from the car simulator. So a lot of these are the same as that, which is one of our citations for this project. But if we go down, a lot of these aren't really new because we just replaced car with tank. So I don't really count those as new edits. But if I go all the way down, this is all new where we added more wheels because if you look at a tank doesn't really have four wheels. It has a lot more. So you're going to see all these things for the wheels. There's also a turret on here, but I'm not going to explain that because that was not my work. That was one of my partner's work. So here's a lot of the stuff I worked on was calculating the in under render terrain where we changed up the length of the tank, added wheel spacing, so make sure the wheels are in a correct amount of space. We don't want them to be too far apart, but we also don't want them too close to each other. Here we have try to get the same amount of wheels per side so the wheels don't overlap and so it looks even. We also made these wheels pretty thick to make it resemble more like treads instead of wheels. And then here's a lot of the stuff for the pitch and roll. We had to change for have multiple wheels. I didn't really want to write out all of it, so I just have the front two wheels and the back two wheels do more of the movement stuff. So I want to show how this looks. And if I run tanksimulation.java, here we go. We're going to work out the fine details. I'm going to try to, for the next video, make these more angular because it's very boxy, but I like how the wheels look on this tank. And the turns are yellow because they wanted to make sure it looks different, but we could change that back to red. But if you notice in the, which I like this design, if you actually look at tanks, they actually have two wheels at the end that are a little higher and smaller to resemble the tread. So that's kind of like what this looks like. And if I move this over to the, let me go to the terrain that I want to go to. It's the other direction. We also are going to add collision later, which I plan on adding that probably on Friday. Wednesday is definitely going to be smoothing out these edges and probably more collision stuff, but I like how this looks like on the terrain that moves. And just to show you how the turret looks, if I press A, it turns it like that. But I like how this looks when it goes on the rough terrain. Almost there. Because I feel like if you look at how the wheels move, it looks a lot more like treads on a tank, where it goes up and down. It's really hard to see from this angle, but if I switch to the other tank, okay, let's make sure. There's the red tank. It's hard to see from all the way back there. But if you look at how the wheels look on the terrain, it's a lot more resembling of treads since treads aren't really, since they kind of form differently. So if that's how it actually looks like moving. And I thought that was a really cool design to have it more tread-like. Hard to switch cameras to show what they look like. But yeah, that is it for this update. I kind of showed off the turret thing from a partner, but he plans on adding it to go up and down. I have another teammate that's planning on the shooting mechanism. We plan on having W as putting the turret up and S as the turret down, but that is it for now, and thank you for watching.